Christmas is about, I'm going to use the word, a wedding. A wedding of the divine and the human. Jesus is at the same time an intimate part of the Holy Trinity and an intimate part of the human race. Through him, there is the wedding of the two becoming one. So we celebrate this oneness of life and love and the goodness of our God. Now it's January 1, a new calendar year. The church year began about 5 weeks ago. As we begin a new calendar year, there's a lot of feeling. There's joys, there's excitement, there's sorrow, there's challenges. But whatever our situation today, the Scriptures radiate what I'm going to call a quiet joy. You know, it's not all the noise of midnight of last night, some places. A quiet joy and hope. Now, one brief item about each of these scriptures. This first reading with this blessing, Moses and Aaron, it's just very majestic. It's tender. And probably the most often quoted part of the Old Testament. And I know that realizing how much Isaiah is quoted and Genesis is quoted and all that. Galatians, Paul, it's like the same melody but a different key. Paul is saying to them that the incarnation is what's really important, that God became human. And then he's also saying, you are no longer slaves. Okay, what does that mean? Well, with the Greek gods and the Roman gods, they could kind of do whatever they want, whenever they wanted, and in a sense, people were slaves to them. Okay? He says that's no longer true. The one true God with a capital G, the relationship is much different. It's like an Abba. Now, Abba was the word that in Jewish times that a boy or girl would use for daddy or dad. It was very, very tender, very close. And Paul is saying we now can call our Father Abba. We are heirs of heaven. Very important. And then we have the shepherds. They're right over there symbolically. They were probably dirty and stinky and unkept. They were at the bottom of society, and yet, who did the angel go to? These shepherds. They were the first to come and give awe and glory to our God became human. And Jesus had a special rapport for those on the margin. The sick, the homebound, the disabled, those that society has pushed aside. Now, I'm not forgetting about Mary. Mary, under the title Mother of God, officially proclaimed in the year 431 at the Council of Chalcedon. Some pronounce it Chalcedon, although that title had been used long before that, but that's when it was officially proclaimed. And during this Christmas season and the last Sunday of Advent, we've been reflecting on the Annunciation, the visitation, Mary, the birth of Christ. And it says in the Gospel today that Mary pondered all these things in her heart. It's important for us. We sometimes think in our brain. That's important. We also need to ponder in our hearts. And so, like Mary, you and I are invited to take Christ's birth and all that it means and ponder it. Now, in the little blue book, and there are about 300 of these out, and there are about 4 or 5 left on the tables. It's not just Advent, it's also the Christmas season. But to go back from December 18th, the week before Christmas, to the 24th, each day there's something about Mary. But then there's also something about each of us. I think it brings it together nicely. So with this in mind, I'm going to invite us to say the Hail Mary prayer together. And I think we'll stand, and then stay standing for the creed. Slowly. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.